Bloody waters, drowning every day, every day.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video. These are crochet reusable braids that you can use for up to 12 weeks. I was really so excited for this look just because when you're doing like knotless or like box braids with like the human hair boho style, it costs, these braiders are charging a little bit much for these. But you can save you some time and you can save you some money, girl. And I'm gonna show y'all exactly how to do this from home by yourself. This is really easy to put in, but I'm gonna show you two different ways of how you can install this. So the first way is just taking one section of your hair and making like a plait. So you're just gonna basically part one section into 3 even strands and then start to braid it into one individual braid. So this is how the crochet braid looks. This is the loop you want to use. And this is the human hair that is attached to it. The human hair on this is really good. I have been having these in my head for a little while now. And the human hair on this is just so pretty. I don't know what the wave pattern is called, but it's just so perfect. Also, this human hair does not budge. Like, it did not come loose or anything while having my hair in, no shedding or anything. So right here, I'm just showing you the first way. You're basically just going to take that loop and put it at the root of your hair. Then you're going to open up that loop and you're going to stick the end of it through the hole and pull it through. Once you got that part down, you're basically just going to take your crochet needle, stick it into the crochet braid, and then you're going to put your hair in the crochet needle and pull it through. Now for a more seamless look, you want to make sure that you're pulling it through like kind of like really close to each other. You don't want to do a big gap of you putting the crochet braid in, then taking your hair and pulling it down. You don't want to make a big gap of it because then it's going to be too loose. So don't do it as far as I did right here. I would do it a little bit closer up just so that it was more like a seamless look. But this is just an example of what you guys can do if you want to get like more of an individual look. So this is me just re-putting it in and going a little bit higher into the braid so that it's more seamless and there's no gaps really. Make sure you do this all the way down to the end of the braid until you can't see any more of your hair left. Since these are reusable, you can just remove them super easily by just slipping out your hair and then pulling down on that loop and then pushing that braid up out of that loop and then literally just pulling the braid off of your hair. And that's it. So let's get into the second method of how I install these crochet braids. These are a synthetic blend with also human hair. So basically just, regular braiding hair along with human hair for the boho pieces, which are the curls in between and the curls at the ends. So what I did was part my hair from the front behind my ear and basically separating the front from the back. So in the front, I'm going to be having like this method to where it's gonna look like I have individual braids. Y'all will see, but I basically went ahead and parted the front from the back, and then I made a middle part, of course, because I definitely have to have a middle part. And then in the front, I'm gonna have about 5 rows on each side, so basically 10 rows all together in the front of my head. You guys will see what I'm talking about. So let's start off with the first row, which is where I'm starting right now. In the first row, I think I'm going to have about maybe like 2 to 3 braids. You guys will see. So starting off with the first braid, I'm going to be making like a plait, kind of how we did in the beginning, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. What I'm going to do is put this section into one plait, and then I'm going to put the section behind it into another plait, but I'm going to combine them. So as I'm making this into a braid, this braid is going to go into the braid behind it. Y'all will see. So right here, I'm starting the second braid. So in the second braid, I'm going to use one of the strands and stick it in the place of one of the strands and just pretend that that piece is also one of my strands. So basically just inserting it as if it is one of the strands that I'm already braiding so I can combine them. Once I have combined them, I'm going to do the same all the way up to the top. So this is me starting on the second row. And I'm doing the second braid on the second row. I'm starting off the braid, but then I'm going to insert that hair in the beginning as one of the pieces that I'm using. One of the 3 strands that I'm using. I'm basically just inserting it and acting as if it's just one of the strands. Stay with me, y'all. I know sometimes when I explain things it's a little bit hard, but I'm going to show you one more time. So this is my third braid on the second row. I'm going parting in 3s, starting to braid. Then I'm like, okay, I have a strand in between right here. I'm going to stick it right in between there and just keep braiding. It's not being used as like a 4th piece. None of that. Stay with me. So this is the front of my hair. See how like these look very individual? Okay? But the back is going to be cornrowed. So since I have these looking like individuals in the front, I'm going to go ahead and braid it into the back. Now my hair is really long and thick. So some people might have like shorter hair than me, so it probably will take you less time. I think this took me about an hour, maybe an hour to do. So as I'm comb rolling the back, I'm inserting the hairs in the front so that it's all combined all together. So right here, I'm stealing some of that hair in the front and I'm just inserting it and continuing to braid into my cornrow into the back. Now, for some people who don't know how to braid, I do recommend like doing flat twists, or you can just try to do this method as far as the plaits all the way to the back and just kind of sew it together. It's different ways you can do this, but for me, I wanted to cornroll it because I know I have a lot of hair and I need it all to look really good and flat. So this is me just pushing the pieces that I did up at the front into the back. And this is what's going to really help the front give that like individual braid kind of style. Because people are like, oh, I didn't even know these were crochet. I'm telling you, it's because I did that method at the front. Now, if you don't know how to plait either, like how I did that method in the front, I did see some people do a rubber band method. But I will recommend that you do your individual, like your fake individual braids up at the front small. Make sure you make small parts because if you make the parts too big, it's going to be very noticeable. So in the front, you can see my parts are kind of small. So that's what I recommend for doing the front. This is me all done. This is how the back is looking. This is the hair. Now there are about 40 strands in each pack. And I ended up using all 3 packs. So right here, this is my hair after just 1 pack. I used all 40 strands. And now I'm going to continue to do the rest of my hair. But this is how it's looking so far. Just trust the process, y'all. Trust the process. But look how pretty the curls are looking. They are so cute. Now with this hair, you do have to maintain the hair, the human hair. You know, you can use leave-in conditioner or maybe just like a spray bottle with water and make sure you detangle the human hair. This is me after 2 packs, how it's looking. And I'm going to go into detail on how you install the crochet hair. So right here, we're doing the front. What we're going to do is go underneath that fake individual, you know, box part that we made. And then we're going to take one of our crochet pieces. We're going to put it in the hook, slide it through, and then we're going to take the end of that and put it in between the loop. And then once you do that, just pull it tight. And that's literally all you do, y'all. These were so super easy to put in. You can get somebody to braid you up for like this type of braid down, and then you can crochet it yourself. It's literally so easy. Now, no two pieces are going to look alike. I'm just showing you guys. Some of them are going to be slightly larger than the other ones. Just have to be on the lookout for that. What I recommend with this, I'm going to use the smallest piece to put up at the front, and maybe the little bit of bigger pieces, maybe on my second or my third braid, just so that it's not up at the front. I want the front to be very flat and seamless, so I'm using the smallest braids I can find to put up at the front so that it matches, like, you know, my head, and it's laying flat. So this is basically just me putting in one of those smaller braids up at the front. So right here is something you should be on the lookout for when you are installing crochet braids. Sometimes depending on where you install it from, up top or down below, is going to determine like how you want your braids to be. So you want to make sure that you're putting the braid like in the part that you made. You don't want it to just be on top of the braid that you're, like the plait that you made going into the other braid. You want it to be directly in that box because, you know, when you're doing your braids, it's in a box. So sometimes also when you're installing the crochet, it can look different if you install it from going down or if you install it from going up. So right here, I'm installing it by going downwards into the part. Trial and error, you got to see what you think looks best and what looks flatter for you. For me, I know I'm going to be wearing my hair to the side, so I was just trying different ways. So what I did was stick my crochet needle downward into the part and then installing a crochet braid instead of sticking it up into the part. Based on what you think and what you like, you'll be able to determine that, but I'm just showing you guys the difference of how the braid would look. So to me, this looks way better than how it was at the beginning of this voiceover when I was telling y'all. I think it looks much better and looks flatter than how it was before. I think before I had installed it by going upwards, but then I was like, okay, let me change these up. I think I'm going to install them going downwards with my crochet needle instead of going up. So I went down into the braid instead of going up into the braid. So the way I installed this really gave it like a natural look, y'all. Like, this is me just doing my edges. Of course, I like to leave a lot of baby hair out. This is just me personally. You don't have to do this. This is just what I like to do. Also, I think these crochet braids look really good. Also, because they have the boho pieces, I think that gives it like a different look. Like, if you just had straight braids, I feel like it might be looking a little bit different than if you were to have the boho pieces. I will say I would only do crochet braids if they look like this, honestly. If they have the boho pieces, I'm definitely down for it. I really did have the easiest time installing this. So you can save y'all some money and some time. This took me only like 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and a half, because obviously I was recording and had to make sure the angles was right and make sure I was showing you guys everything. So, but yeah, you guys definitely have to try this. I'm gonna link everything down below. Oh, I was eating this hairstyle up. I was telling people, yeah, it only took me like 2 hours to do my hair, and people were like, how? Yeah, girl, crochet, save y'all some time and some money. And you can reuse them. Once you take them out, you can do the hairstyle again if you wanted to. So I definitely recommend 10 out of 10. And this is not because it's sponsored. It's honestly because I really enjoyed this hairstyle. Like, this was super easy to do. So if I want to do some braids right quick, I know where to go. If you made it this far into the video, make sure you like and you are subscribed. You don't got to comment if you don't want to. It's up to you, boo. But just make sure you are subscribed and you're liking the video to help other people out. You know? I know it's other people trying to save a coin. So help me get on the algorithm and let these people know where to go. Yeah, eating. Come on now. These braids came out so good. You cannot tell me like I didn't just go get my hair done. And it took about 10 hours. Just kidding. Only 2. Come on now. And then I was doing the different styles with it. Stay tuned for that. I should make a whole nother video on how I'm going to style these braids and do different stuff. I was feeling myself, girl. I was like, okay. Cute. And I definitely got to show y'all the back, of course. Yeah, I got to see what it's looking like in the back. Because I did that. These braids are nice and full. Make sure you are like, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, faves.